You know exactly how much you are holding right now. You did the math on it this morning before your feet even hit the floor. And somewhere along the way, without ever deciding to, you started believing that your grip is the only thing keeping all of it in the air. I believed that for most of my life. So let me ask you the question that finally cornered me. If you loosened your grip, even a little, would everything really fall? You already have an answer in your head. By the end of this, I want to tell you why mine changed. It started with a dying king, David, at the end of everything, handing the kingdom to his son in front of the whole nation, and the last big prayer of his life says where every bit of his strength had come from. In 1 Chronicles chapter 29 verse 12, both riches and honor come from you, and you rule over all. In your hand is power and might. It is in your hand to make great, and to give strength to all. To give strength to all. Issued, like gear handed out at the start of a shift, signed for, never owned. Every ounce of strength I have ever had came off his hand, one day at a time. It never started in my arms. It only ever passed through them. There is a parking lot I have not told anyone about, a gray sedan, and a woman I have never met. I will take you there before this is over. Understand, my hands are how I have said I love you my whole life. I fix what breaks. I lift what is heavy. I show up early and I leave late, and I hold the line for people who never see what it costs. If you asked me who I am, everything in my answer would come back to what these two hands can carry. There was a man like that in the Bible, Nehemiah, rebuilding a wall with enemies circling the whole project, telling anyone who would listen that his crew was too weak to finish. And right in the middle of the work, mid-task, he prays 5 words. In Nehemiah chapter 6 verse 9, for they all would have made us afraid, saying, their hands will be weakened from the work, that it not be done. But now, strengthen my hands. Strengthen my hands. That is a 2,500-year-old sentence, and it sounds like something a man would pray with his forehead against the steering wheel before a shift this morning. He did not ask to be excused from the work. He asked for strength he knew he did not manufacture. He knew where it came from. I did not. Because here is what I had been doing instead. I had been the strength. For my wife. For my kids. For my mother and her pill bottles and her appointments. If I am being honest, I thought that was the job. Be the arm everybody leans on and never let them feel it shake. Then I found a king who told his people the truth about an army nobody could beat. In 2 Chronicles chapter 32 verse 8, an arm of flesh is with him, but the Lord our God is with us to help us and to fight our battles. The people rested themselves on the words of Hezekiah, king of Judah. An arm of flesh. That is what I have been. Not a bad thing. A real thing, a loving thing, but flesh, and flesh gets tired. I had assigned myself a job that was never mine, being the whole army for everyone I love. And did you catch what the people did when they heard the truth? They rested. Nobody rested on my arm. They braced on it. There is a difference, and I felt it every day. If you are watching this with your jaw set, doing the math on everyone counting on you, I need you to hear this part. The exhaustion you feel is not weakness arriving. It is flesh being asked to do what only God can do. You were never built to be the whole army. Neither was I. And before you think letting go means the people you love will hold you up instead, I have to be honest about something harder. David lived that too. He came home to a burned camp once, everything gone, and the men he had led and fed and bled for talked about stoning him. In 1 Samuel chapter 30 verse 6, David was greatly distressed, for the people spoke of stoning him, because the souls of all the people were grieved, every man for his sons and for his daughters. But David strengthened himself in the Lord his God. The people he carried could not carry him. On his worst day they turned on him, and he did not find strength in them, and he did not find it in himself. He strengthened himself in the Lord his God. The well was never the people. The well was never even him. Now the parking lot. 2 days ago, after my shift, I stopped at the grocery store, and 3 spaces over there was a gray sedan, engine off, and a woman inside it gripping the steering wheel with both hands. Eyes closed, not crying, just sitting there, getting her face ready before she walked in and became whoever they needed her to be. I knew that grip. I have had that grip in that same parking lot more times than I can count. And a sentence I had read 2 nights before rose up in me before I could stop it. Paul, standing in the middle of Athens, telling a crowd of strangers something true about every person who has ever lived. In Acts chapter 17, verse 28, "For in him we live, move, and have our being." As some of your own poets have said, "For we are also his offspring." In him we live and move. Her too. That woman white-knuckling her steering wheel is living and moving inside the same hands that have been under me every mile I ever drove. She has been held the whole time, and she does not know it yet. I wanted to knock on her window and tell her. I prayed for her instead, right there in my truck, the first time I have ever done anything like that. And I know she is not the only one. Some of you are sitting in that exact car right now, engine off, getting your face ready. What I want you to know is what I finally know. The weight is real. Your carrying is real, and it has cost you something real. But your grip was never the thing holding it all up. His was. It still is. I have not stopped carrying my people. I never will. But I loosened my grip, and here is the answer to the question I asked you at the start. Nothing fell. Not one thing. Because it was never resting on my hands alone. I carry open-handed now instead of white-knuckled. That is the whole exchange. Same load, different grip, because I finally know whose hand is under mine. If this found you, comment held and leave what you are carrying in the comments. We will pray over it with you by name. And stay until the very end. We left something there for you. Screenshot it, or write it down if you need to. And keep it close for the days your knuckles start turning white again. Subscribe for your daily spiritual reset. We will be here. We see you. We are here for you.